I take myself back to my start of when I started competing back in the early 90s, there was a local show, Mr. Fremont. If you guys live in California or if you're from the Bay Area, you guys know that the Mr. Fremont was like a pretty big show back in the day. And not big as in a lot of athletes, but just well known in the area. They held it at a pretty fancy golf resort, so the stage was all done pretty nice, and people would dress up for it. But anyways, the head judge there was Ed Corney. If you guys are young and you don't know who Ed Corney is, he is basically the guy that's in the movie Pumping Iron, where Arnold Schwarzenegger says, "Now that's what I call posing." Well, that's the guy, Ed Corney. He's the head judge at the Mr. Fremont. He won Mr. Fremont back in 1960. So basically, that whole show was all about presentation, have good posing, because you got the head judge Ed Corney, who's like basically one of the best posers of all time, watching everybody. So um, I took posing to heart. I took it like right in my beginning of my career. It was like I made that pretty important aspect of prep. And I remember going up to Ed Corney one day and asking him, what do I need to work on? What can I do to make myself better? And basically, he told me, people pay good money to watch a bodybuilding show, so make sure you give them their money's worth. And he was basically talking about the posing. So I took that to heart and always made it a point that my posing was always on par. And so now what I'm seeing in today's bodybuilding world is a lot of inadequate posing, and it's pretty frustrating to me to be sitting in the audience and watching. If I'm paying $20, $30 a ticket and I'm watching not very good performances and not good presentation, it's a little frustrating. It's like going to the movies. You pay, I don't know, $10, $11 a move for a movie ticket. You don't want to sit there and watch 2 hours worth of crappy movie. You want to get your money's worth. So same thing with the bodybuilding show. Take the time, learn how to pose, and practice. Don't wing it. The last week of the show, you're like, oh, I'll practice my posing now. Well, it's a little too late, and it really shows on stage when the nerves in your face set in, the shaking of the poses. So you want to look poised and professional up there. Um, so just a few little tips here, right off the bat is for me, like before you even learn how to actually position yourself for a pose. So you could have the best body positioning in the world, but right away the first thing you could do without even actually learning how to actually place any of your body parts in a certain pose is simply to have poise, and that means to relax in the pose, be confident, and be in control of yourself on stage. So it's just relax a little bit, have poise, and you'll come across a lot better to the audience. Um, Also, a simple smile. It doesn't have to be this over the top Disneyland smile, but just a subtle smile, just to let the judges know and the audience know, hey, I'm having fun up here. I'm in control, and you're not going to look like you're up there gritting your teeth doing a 500-pound deadlift, looking like you're straining in your poses. Another thing you can do is to let off the gas on your poses. So instead of tensing everything at 100%, where you're just like shaking like this, like crazy, and you're shaking and you're tensing so hard, you just let off the gas a little bit, be in control, pose at about 85, 90%. The muscle doesn't change whatsoever, and you still look like, hey, he's holding his pose, muscles don't change, and he can hold that pose for a long period of time, and he's not shaking, trembling, and he looks pretty damn confident. So let off the gas pedal. You don't need to pose as hard as you can. A lot of guys will say, "Hey, you should pose hard so the veins will come out." Well, yeah, veins might come out, but your face looks like you're freaking doing 1,000-pound deadlift, and you're just gonna look like that. So yeah, I mean, you want to look cool, confident, poised. It's like if you're going to a Broadway show, you want to see good acting. You don't want to see crappy acting. So make sure you practice and have poise. So basically, what's my take on? Okay, basically, a lot of people nowadays think great posing is the posing routines that involved dancing, and it's to do all these crazy things like backflips and all this stuff. To me, that's not true posing. I mean, everybody has their own opinion and take on it, but to me, posing is actually the actual bodybuilding poses themselves. That's what you want to look good in, is those poses. The dancing and the backflips, I think that's great stuff. It's more entertaining than it is actual posing, and I think it does have a place in a posing routine, if you can do that type of thing. I know personally, I'm not a dancer. I can't do backflips, so for me, my strengths are the actual poses themselves and flowing into them. You know, one pose after another, making sure everything's flowing real smooth, um, and be graceful and that type of thing. But when I'm talking about being a better poser and actually becoming a better poser is the mandatory poses. That's where the judging's done. The judging is done in the pre-judging and with the symmetry poses and the mandatory poses. So those are the poses you really want to nail. And that just leads me to uh, these next video clips. This is what I think I've had these video clips out there on YouTube before, but basically this was my posing session from 2011. And it was basically, I think it was like 7 weeks away from the IFPA Pro International. And leading up to, prior to this posing session, I had been practicing for weeks and weeks and weeks to fine tune everything. And it still wasn't perfect in this next video clip I'm about to show you, but I still had 7 weeks to prepare and get better, which I did. So yeah, it's just these are the mandatory poses. If you see in the video, not to say I'm the greatest poser of all time, but I feel like I'm pretty confident enough to say that my mandatory poses are pretty good. And you'll notice the positioning of my body, the way I get into the poses, and actually um, the way I'm expressing myself as far as subtle smiles and I'm being confident. And once I get into the pose, I'm trying to lock that pose in and not shake and tremble, but staying, like I said, poised, hitting the poses at 80, 85, 90%. And yeah, it's just it takes practice. And I just this whole video is just all about, hey, practice your posing, get better at it, make sure you're poised, confident, and be and smile ups on stage and have fun with it. But anyways, that's my ramble for this Friday. So I hope you guys enjoy these posing clips, and if you guys want to, you could actually pause them on each pose and see how the alignment is, study the placements, and then it might just help you guys with your next show. But other than that, I am out. Have a great weekend. I'll probably be off the grid as far as the internet for the weekend, and I will see you guys next week. Here we got the front relax. You'll notice how all positioning's pretty equally. In this pose, the front relax is like you're going to be in that pose probably a good 60% of the time on stage. So it's pretty important to nail that pose down because that's the one you're going to be seeing in the most. Here you got the side relaxed, and you'll notice how the shoulders are perfectly horizontal with one another. That's going to give you more illusion of taper. You'll notice how that tapered down into the waistline. Rear relax, the most key thing you want to do is lock those glutes in. That's going to make your hamstrings, quads, make your legs look bigger, hamstrings pop more, and then arc that lower back and spread the lats. That's going to give you more taper to your upper body. Here we again have the side relax. You'll notice how my foot position, I got one foot in front of the other, and that's so I could jam my back knee into my front hamstring to make that hamstring pop. But again, you'll notice how the shoulders are square, which tapers down into the waist. And here we are getting ready to set up for the front double bicep. And pretty key on this is get that torso up and get your elbows slightly above parallel. And that's going to create more illusion and taper to those lats. So again, it's getting the air up for the lat spread. Big air up, spread the lats forward, keep those shoulders square, hands even, elbows even, everything aligned perfectly. Side chest, the key is to get that back teardrop jammed into the front hamstring. That really pops that hamstring out, and again, expand your torso up, make yourself look bigger, get a nice twist on the side chest, and it will give you that much taper. Side triceps. If you pause the video, look how the wrist placement is. The hand's back, the arm is locked straight down. and the arm is into the side. That makes the arm appear bigger. It's all illusions. You just want to get a nice jam with that arm. Now the rear double bicep, rear lat spread, when you kick that leg out, you only want to step back 1 to 3 inches, and that's it. And the reason you do that is so your hips don't shift. Your hips stay straight, gives the illusion of more quad sweep. You'll notice how the elbows stay perfectly horizontal with each other on the rear double bicep, and that really gives the shoulders a lot more symmetry. You can see all 3 heads of the shoulder. Lat spread, again, arc the low back and then spread those lats out, give you a nice taper. So again, as you can see, I'm setting up the side chest, getting my calf spiked up, I'm getting my hamstring popped out, and I'm getting a nice twist to the upper body, and that's to show taper, to make your waistline look smaller. And you want to vacuum in your stomach, so it makes your upper body look that much bigger. Again, side tricep, look how the arms lock straight down and up against the side. That's going to, again, make your arm appear thicker. Here we have the hands on hip. Notice where the thumb placement is and the hand placement is. Notice how the elbows are kicked out to the sides and the shoulders are perfectly square. They're square with each other. And notice how I'm not jamming my shoulders together. They're kept out wide. And here we have finish off with my style of most muscular. It just shows a lot better symmetry.